I'm Jeffrey Schmidt at Jeffrey Schmidt Music, and the video I have for you today is the Shure SM57 versus the Shure SM58. Here is the SM57. Here is the SM58. So what are the similarities between these two microphones? The only difference between these two microphones is the grill. Here the SM57 has a plastic grill with a metal top, and the SM58 has a ball-shaped grill with lots of foam inside. So given that that's the only difference, physically speaking, between these two microphones, that means that everything else is the same, including, of course, the price, which has for many years stayed around $100 or 100 euros. So what are the differences between these two microphones? Well, I just showed you the difference between the two grills, and the fact that the two grills are different in that way creates a different frequency response, which gives the SM58 more lower mids, between 200 and 500 hertz approximately, and it gives the SM57 more upper mids around 5 kilohertz. Another difference is the recommended use that Shure gives us, and Shure recommends that the SM57 be used for instruments and the SM58 be used for vocals. Another difference that I've found while searching is that of the capsule or diaphragm quality. Meaning that even though the diaphragm is the same in both of these microphones, Shure has a quality selection process that first weeds out the capsules that it's not going to use at all, and then it has a second layer of the process where it determines that the higher quality ones go to the SM58 and the ones that remain, or the medium quality capsules, are going to be used for the SM57. So that's an interesting fact to know. Let's talk about these microphones in use. Now live, many people obviously use the SM58 for vocals. And also live, many people use the SM57 for snare drums and guitar amps, classically. In the studio, the SM57 can be used for many things. Of course, like I said, it is very popular for snare drum and for guitar amp, but it has been used for vocals. And the SM58 tends to be less used in the studio, although of course it can be. And now lastly, let's have a listen to some audio samples of the difference in sound between an SM58 and an SM57. I prepared some audio samples for you, a track that has vocals and guitar on it. And so we're going to start by listening to a version of the track that has the SM57 on the guitar track and the SM57 on the vocal track as well.
Will you hold your ground when old love sheds its skin? Oh, and do I want you to?
Next, let's listen to the SM57 on the electric guitar amp and the SM58 on vocals.
Will you hold your ground when old love sheds its skin? Oh, and do I want you to?
Next, let's listen to the SM58 on the guitar amp and the SM57 on vocals.
Will you hold your ground when old love sheds its skin? Oh, and do I want you to?
And lastly, let's listen to the SM58 on the electric guitar amp and the SM58 on vocals.
Will you hold your ground when old love sheds its skin? Oh, and do I want you to? And
So now you've heard all permutations of the mix of this particular track with the SM57 and the SM58 on either vocals or guitar or both. In any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe to my channel, and have a great day. And I just wanted to tell you that how I proceeded in terms of mixing so that you can properly compare is that I use the same compression and EQ for both of the vocal takes, the one on the SM58 and the SM57. So you have the same EQ and the same compression. And it's the same for the electric guitar track. I use the same EQ and the same compression on both the take with the SM57 and the take with the SM58. And so what I did is I tried to find the best mix that would work for both mics. Now, that being said, you will find that on the tracks with the SM58, given what I said here, of course, you'll find that the SM58 sounds a little bit warmer or a little bit more muddy, and the SM57 sounds a little bit thinner and or a little bit brighter. Another interesting thing to note in practice is that an SM58 can be more or less turned into an SM57. How do we do that? So just as a note before we answer that question, the SM57's grill cannot be removed. However, the grill of the SM58 can be screwed off which reveals the capsule. And Shure themselves even say that, of course, you can use this SM58 without a grill, and it does sound quite similar, as you might imagine, to an SM57. The only thing is that, of course, you have to be careful because now the capsule is more exposed, and if it gets hit, for example, by a drumstick, it could easily be damaged or broken. But this is just to tell you that if you are a home studio owner like myself, and you're getting your first microphone and you don't want to buy both, well, you can start with an SM58, and when you want to use it on guitar amps, you can just take off the grill, and it sounds quite similar to an SM57. So that's just an extra tip.